welcome to the working side of my kitchen. As many of you know, for almost a year now, I have been following the Faster Way to Fat Loss program, which isn't so much a weight loss program as a whole lifestyle change with the emphasis on more healthy eating and incorporating exercise into your daily life. And so what I thought I would do today is share with you 14 healthy snack ideas, one treat day snack idea. And the reason I picked these particular ones, with the exception of one, is that they're quick. Because when you're hungry, oftentimes, if you don't have something easy to put in your mouth on hand, you are going to go for what is easy. And what's easy is cookies and junk food and just things that don't require preparation. So I want to give you some ideas that, for the most part, except for one, do not require much in the way of preparation, and they're healthy and they're delicious. Now, I will say that the Faster Way to Fat Loss program does encourage you to be dairy-free and gluten-free. And for medical reasons, I am gluten-free. Although I'm not gluten intolerant, I can eat gluten and nothing adverse happens to me. But due to an autoimmune issue, I have hypothyroidism, it is recommended that I be, for the most part, gluten-free. I am not dairy-free. I may have spent my entire adult life in Texas, but I was born and raised in the upper Midwest outside Chicago, and you can take the girl out of the Midwest, but you can't take the dairy out of the girl. So I still do eat dairy. If you are interested in joining the next round of our Faster Way to Fat Loss program, I will put links down in the description box where you can register, request my coach, and the upcoming dates for the next round. We always have a round or two going every single month. All right, now let's get to the snacks. I'm gonna start with the one that actually requires some pre-planning, and that is hard-boiled eggs. I love eating eggs. Eggs are a big part of the Faster Way program. You don't have to eat them if you don't want to, but for those of us that enjoy eggs, it's a great way to get some protein into your body. And I cannot live without this one device in my kitchen. It is this little rapid egg cooker. It can make hard-boiled eggs, soft-boiled eggs, poached eggs, and omelets. And I've already put the water that's needed to make the hard-boiled eggs. It comes with this little measuring cup, and it has different lines to tell you where to put the water depending on what you're making. The other part of it that I didn't realize until after I had been using it for a while is you take the bottom off, and there's a little needle. So what you do is you take that needle and you poke a little hole in the top of the egg. This egg cooker can hold up to 7 eggs. I'm gonna just do an easy half dozen. And I'm gonna start these cooking while we go through the rest of my snacks. So once you have your eggs poked, so to speak, you just put the cap on, push the button, and we'll let that go. Okay, let's get on to some snacks. So first, right in front of me, I did tell you that I am not dairy-free, but I don't eat, the only dairy I really eat is anything cheese related, cottage cheese, regular cheese. For the most part, any other kind of dairy-like item, I've swapped out for almond-based products, almond milk being the big one. So an easy snack is some yogurt. Now, like I said, I prefer the almond yogurt, and I really like this Silk brand. They have tons of flavors. Strawberry happens to be one of my favorites. I have vanilla in the fridge, chocolate in the fridge. Our local grocery store chain in Texas, it's H-E-B, actually has their own house brand of almond yogurt. There's coconut yogurt, and of course, there's regular yogurt. I would just advise you to read the label, check the sodium levels, the sugar levels, especially if you've added fruit, just to make sure you're staying in your macros and not eating too much sugar. This one has 5 grams of protein and 11 grams of fat, so keep an eye on that. Another easy one, and this is where portion control is a big thing. You need to read the labels and measure out exactly how much is a serving size. Don't just dip from the container. I am guilty of this. I'm thinking baby carrots and hummus, it's a great healthy snack. Yes, it is, unless as you're sitting there, you polish off the entire container of hummus, which I have done. So generally the serving size is about 2 tablespoons. I'll admit this is probably 2 heaping tablespoons, and then some carrots in there to get it in your mouth. I may have a little helper. He's not helping, but I'm sure he would like to. Go away. He smells those eggs. This is a no-brainer, but again, it's portion control. Slices of cheese with some crackers. In this case, this is sliced extra sharp New York cheddar. I cheated and just got the easy pre-sliced kind. You can buy a wedge and just measure it out yourself. And then the crackers in this case are almond nut thins with just a pinch of sea salt. These are gluten-free and these are so addictive. Again, don't just eat straight from the box. You will polish off a box in one sitting. I have done it. It was not my proudest moment. This is an easy and obvious one, and it is an apple. When I was looking into fad diets years ago, one that I found that actually kind of worked recommended that you eat an entire apple before every meal. And the idea was it's full of fiber and it will fill you up so you won't feel hungry while you're continuing to eat your normal meals, and you'll probably eat a little bit less. That's not a good reason to eat an apple, but it is good to feel full. You don't want to feel hungry throughout the day. So an apple all by itself is a great snack. But depending on if you're tracking your macros and keeping track of fats and proteins and carbohydrates, you may want to spruce it up a little bit. You can add a little bit of honey. I love doing that. I love slicing up an apple and drizzling a little honey on top for a dessert some evenings. Or, and I can't say that I recommend this almond butter. I haven't tried it yet. This one's the Target brand. My favorite almond butter has to be the one from Trader Joe's though, the salted version, not the unsalted. Make sure you spoon it out first and measure it. Again, if you just keep dipping, you're gonna go through a whole container. A serving size of almond butter is 2 tablespoons, but spread a little bit of almond butter on some apple slices and you are good to go. With that idea, a banana is also great for obvious reasons, but a really great, easy snack, which does require a little bit of thought ahead of time, is slicing up a banana, spreading each slice with a little bit of almond butter and freezing it. Such a great thing to have on hand later. You just pop those in. They are delicious. The texture is wonderful. This one's a little weird. I've never heard anybody talking about this, but I love hearts of palm. I think it's the texture. I adore them. I discovered them in a salad bar years ago, I think by accident, and I love them. They are really high in potassium, much like a banana, but they're lower in carbs, lower in fat, and they're more of a savory dish than sweet like a banana. And in this case, you're probably wondering, what is this brown stuff that is drizzled all over it? I did add a little bit of balsamic vinegar glaze. It's a little bit thicker than a balsamic vinegar. If that is too much sugar or you just don't know where to get that, you can sprinkle a little bit of just regular balsamic vinegar on it. You can drizzle it with your favorite salad dressing. I've been known to do that as well. I will eat a whole can. Now, a serving size is 1/3 of a cup, but honestly, this is so low in carbs and fats that I'll eat the whole can. Why not? I will say, if you're looking in the canned vegetable section, they often have the hearts of palm in 2 different varieties, either the salad cut or the whole. Salad cut, for some reason, is about half the price of the whole, so I always just get them pre-cut like this. I assure you, I am not pregnant, nor do I plan to be ever again, but I love this snack. Pickles. Now, I prefer the sweet gherkin variety because I do have a bit of a sweet tooth. My husband prefers the kosher dill. Be that as it may, you pick what you like, but some pickles, low carbs, it's a nice crunch. It's something about that texture that it's fulfilling. I don't know what it is, but have some pickles on hand in your fridge for some easy snacking. This one is gonna require a recipe, so you're going to have to make this ahead of time, but this recipe keeps in the fridge for a couple of weeks, I think, and in the freezer for 3 months, and these are protein energy balls. I make these dozens of them at a time and will bring them to both of my boys as care packages. I think Jake lived off of these the week that we went without power. When he was in Houston, he just ate protein balls for 6 days straight. I will put the link to the basic recipe down in the description box, and you can go ahead and add whatever add-ins that you like. I do add in protein powder with mine. These are, I can't remember all the ingredients, but it's oats, honey, peanut butter. In my case, I put in protein powder, mini chocolate chips, toasted coconut flakes, and then you can add, whatever you want. You could do chopped up cranberries, raisins, all kinds of nuts, whatever you feel like, but the basic recipe is basically what I just gave you, minus the protein powder. So like I mentioned, Faster Way does have some suggestions or guidelines like gluten-free and dairy-free, and they very much emphasize eating whole foods, not from the store whole foods, but whole foods from nature, either it had a mother or it grew out of the ground. They're not a big fan of the processed stuff. However, sometimes you just have to have something quick, especially if you're on the road, you don't have access to a refrigerator or something. So I always have a Quest bar in my purse. This particular one, I don't necessarily recommend for on the go. It's a little messy. This is the chocolate sprinkled donut, and it does have sprinkles on it, and the sprinkles can get kind of all over the place. My favorite by far is the chocolate chip cookie dough one. And with that one, if you're at home, take it out of the package, put it on a plate, stick it in the microwave for 5 to 10 seconds. It tastes exactly like warm cookie dough, fresh out of the oven. It's delicious. But this little guy right here has 20 grams of protein. It is gluten-free and it tastes like a candy bar. So in a pinch, this is a nice thing to have on hand. This may look kind of disgusting, but it's one of my personal favorites. It's cottage cheese mixed with diced pears. Now you can add whatever kind of fruit that you want. I love pears, I love the sweetness of them, but I love the added fiber. I just buy the kind in the little plastic cups with no sugar added in water to keep the sugar down. And again, measure out a serving size. If you're counting your carbs or like keeping track of your carbs, especially if you're doing faster way on Mondays and Tuesdays, then look for 1% cottage cheese. It's slightly lower in carbs than the full fat-free version. I don't know why. This is taking a lot of self-control not to dig in. I just love the texture of the firmer pears with the creamy cottage cheese. It's absolutely delicious. Cottage cheese is just a great snack idea all by itself because it can mix so well with both sweet and savory things. You can slice up a hard-boiled egg, add a little bit of sliced avocado, add a little salt and pepper, and it's a really nice savory dish. You can make it into a full meal. But this is something I've been eating for years, long before I knew about Faster Way. This is one I live on, and each of these by themselves can be a snack, but I like to combine them. It's a serving size of nuts and some dried apricots, especially the kind that have prebiotics added to them. Again, these are great for fiber, obviously not great on low carb days. The nuts are great on low carb days. They're a great source of protein and healthy fat. I like the sweet and savory mixed together. Yes, you can go to the grocery store and buy pre-packaged combinations of dried fruit and nuts, but it's so much less expensive to just have a big thing of nuts and a couple of bags of dried fruit and just mix them together, and you can put them in little baggies and take them on the road with you. This is something I always have on hand. I think I've mentioned cheese a few times, and sometimes you don't need to do anything special with it. Just grab a piece of cheese. The two that I like to just pop in my mouth, string cheese and these little Baby Bell things. Part of the fun of eating these guys is just the whole unwrapping. There's this plastic wrapper, then there's a wax rind. It's like a mini wheel of cheese, and then peeling that open. It's a whole experience. I love these guys. I always have these in my refrigerator. And let's admit it, we might be out of elementary school, but there's something really fun about eating a piece of string cheese, just the individual peeling of the tiny little strings. It also stretches out the eating experience so you're not wolfing down your food. This idea can be a snack, but I have made larger portions and turned it into a whole meal. And that's just taking 2 pieces of turkey or salami, whatever kind of deli meat that you like. I'm a turkey girl, just oven roasted, straight up turkey. Use it almost like a sandwich. I have a slice of cheese in the middle. You can roll it up if you want, but I like making it so that it's like a sandwich. And then lastly, before we get to my hard-boiled eggs, and I'll show you how I make my egg salad, one little guilty treat or splurge. If you haven't tried these yet, Oreo finally came out with gluten-free regular Oreos and gluten-free double stuffed Oreos. I don't know why anyone would eat regular Oreos. Like, I don't even know why those are made. They should always be double stuffed. I can assure you, check this out. I've been working my way through this package. This cookie looks, tastes, and feels exactly like a normal Oreo cookie. And when you dunk it in milk, same experience. It's just, for those of us who really aren't supposed to be eating gluten or can't eat gluten, this is a godsend. This is the best thing that has ever happened. This is the highlight of my 2021. Okay, granted we're only in March, but getting my hands on these has made me so happy. And the part that does not make me happy is that one serving size is only 2 cookies, so make it last. My eggs are done. Let me turn this off, run them under some cool water, and I'll share my quick egg salad recipe with you. These eggs could not be easier. Now, of course, you can just eat a hard-boiled egg all by itself, maybe a little sprinkle of pink Himalayan salt if that's your thing. My dogs, generally when I eat hard-boiled eggs, I'm not a fan of the yolk, so they know that I will give that to them, which is why there are 3 dogs circling like sharks at my feet. We're gonna ignore him. Look how beautiful and yellow these yolks are from the rapid cooker. I love them. So a quick way to make egg salad. It's not a big Okay, I'm not gonna give him any. Just quickly chop it up, nothing special. You can even just use a couple eggs. You don't have to put, you know, the whole half dozen in there if you want. But this is where I'm gonna lose some of you. Some of you are gonna get very upset about this. And I never claim to be a nutritionist. And if anything that I've suggested to you thus far has offended you, don't worry. You're not invited to dinner, but I'm joking. Not really. But an easy, quick little thing to do is just chop them up roughly. Don't even worry about salt, pepper, celery, all the stuff. Just add a little bit of, okay, here's where I'm gonna lose some of you. If you wanna be more true to the Faster Way program, you would do a mayonnaise, preferably with either avocado or olive oil in it. It has, I think, one net carb. So this is a great snack idea for low carb days. Or what I prefer, which is going to make some of you nuts, is Miracle Whip. It just has a ting to it. I know there's so many of you that are just, that's it, you're unsubscribing. How could I like Miracle Whip over mayonnaise? I just do. This is just the generic. And a whole serving is 1 tablespoon is a whole serving, and it's only 2 net carbs. I'm not even gonna do the whole thing. Just add a little bit, mix it all up. It's all mixed up. It's got just the right seasoning. If it's not a low carb day, you can just spoon a little bit on a nut thin. If it is a low carb day, you can do a slice of cucumber and easy snack. I personally like having this mixed up with about a half a dozen eggs. Just keep it in the fridge. It's not gonna last more than a few days in my house because it will get eaten, but it's a great thing to make on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening before the week gets started, and then you have it for lunch Monday, Tuesday, or snacks, or what have you. Well, I think we've hit the end of the snack ideas for today. I have plenty of others. There's the obvious ones like smoothies and other pieces of fruit and things like that, but I just wanted to give you a few ideas that maybe will just sort of stick in your head and you'll remember it the next time you get hungry or the next time you hit the grocery store. Be sure to check down in the description box. I'll list every single one of them. I will also link any recipes that go with any of these, and I hope that you try at least one of them, and if you do, let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me today. I really appreciate it. I gotta get going and eat some of this, so I will see you in my next video. Bye!